Hello students, this is Dr. Bethany Fleck and you are watching the video about the Constructivist Theory paper, which is an assignment required for cognitive growth and development. A major theme in this course is the emphasis on the constructivist approach to teaching. This approach is defined in your textbook and through the lessons. I'm sure you're pretty familiar with it now, that is by the time you turn your attention to actually writing the Constructivist Theory paper. In this paper, you get the opportunity to develop, apply, and synthesize a cognitive developmental theory or theorists to a modern media format, utilizing and working within this constructivist approach to teaching. So what you need to do is choose and then watch a popular animated film. So here are some examples: The Lion King, Frozen, How to Train Your Dragon. It could be Disney, Pixar. It doesn't have to be. It could be something else. Just make sure that it's relatively easy for me to access in case I need to watch or reference that film. So something on Netflix, something on YouTube, something that would be easy for me to come across. So that's why I say a popular animated film. So again, you choose, and then you watch that animated film, and then you write a very clear, clean, and precise critique or synthesis of that film based on the cognitive developmental theory and the concepts. So I'm going to walk you through quickly the parts of this paper, and you have this document. It's attached to your syllabus. It's also on Blackboard, and I'll show you where it is and how you submit your paper towards the end here. So here are the directions. The first thing you want to do is choose the topic in the movie. Okay. Watch the movie. Keep an eye out for anything that seems constructivist, anything that's related to the course. You're going to choose just one psychologist or one psychological concept or theory. So what could these be? It could be Piaget's theory. That's one theory, one psychologist. It could be Vygotsky's theory. You wouldn't write about both Piaget and Vygotsky. You must only choose one. You could do information processing, motivation, higher order thinking, any of these topics that exist within the coursework and within the textbook. That's a great place to look to help you find what topic you're going to write about. Okay. Your movie might have more than one relevant topic, but you're just going to focus on the one. That's going to allow you to dive really deep. The second step is to watch the movie. This is the fun part, of course. You get to take notes, watch. Maybe you want to revisit one of your favorite films from when you were a kid. As long as it's accessible and easy for me to find, it would be perfectly fine. Make sure that you're taking notes as they relate to the topic that you've chosen. You'll need to use very clear and precise examples in your paper of how the movie was demonstrating or applying the topic or theorist that you chose. So taking notes is really important. Number 3 is to support your theory or theorists. You're going to have to find a minimum of 5 citations and references that you're going to pull into your paper. These have to be journal articles, books, or chapters from books, so reputable sources only. You'll also use the course textbook, so that means 6 total citations with references. You'll make sure that you're also citing the movie in proper APA format. So you'd want to give a clear definition of the concept or the theory, some research about it from an article, book, or book chapter. Then you're going to want to demonstrate an example of when you saw that in the movie. Now you could go the other way. It depends on your style of writing. So you could give the example and then explain how it's connected using the books, the sources, so on and so forth. Okay. To find additional sources for your paper, you have to visit the library website. You can use Google Scholar or you can go to the library. Now here's just a word of caution if you're going to use Google Scholar. You still need to make sure that it's a reputable source, so a journal article, a book, or a chapter. So check out the source that's linked on that Google Scholar site. And just as I'm going to walk you through Blackboard in a few minutes, I'll also show you a quick Google Scholar search so you can help to see what works and what doesn't work. Okay. Be sure to cite your references in APA style and use specific examples in your writing. So just a reminder right there. If you need help with APA style, you can go to the Purdue OWL. That's a great webpage. And I believe here at the end of the assignment, I have some other links that are really good, and I'll show you a couple of those in just a moment. All right, step number 4 is the paper content. This is all in APA style. This is your outline for your paper, so follow this outline and you're going to do great. You're going to want a title page, and then B breaks down the content. This is the sections of your paper listed in this order, and then you integrate the movie, the text examples, and the content. So you're going to have an introductory paragraph. You're going to have 1 to 2 paragraphs summarizing the movie in general. 1 to 2 paragraphs focusing on the characters that are the focus of the movie in your paper. What is their behavior like? What do they do? How do they talk? This section does vary greatly depending on your topic and which character or characters you focus on in your application. The next part is to write 1 to 4 paragraphs summarizing your chosen psychological concept or psychologist. You want to stick with what applies to the movie and the highlights of the theory of that psychologist. So you're not going to give the entire background of the psychologist or the theory. So I wouldn't go into Piaget's history. However, I would explain in detail the theory and the aspects of that theory that are going to connect to the film, so your application piece. This is where you want to add additional research. The next section of the paper are 3 or so paragraphs connecting or applying the book materials with the movie. And this is where you're being really specific. So sometimes these are integrated into one another, okay? Or you can kind of break it up. So it depends on your writing style again. But if it was me, what I would do is I would summarize a big part of the theory and then I would connect it. And then I might do that again, okay? And then again, one more time. So about 3 application pieces. Maybe 4. Depends on what theory you've chosen and what movie you've chosen. The other way of doing it is to do all of the summary of the concept and then do all of the examples thereafter. Okay, so that's up to you. Depends on your style. The next piece is to have a concluding paragraph to tie everything in all together. Here are some reminders for your reference page. This is the next section in your paper. No websites, only peer-reviewed journal articles, books, or chapters from books. You do need to include your DOI numbers. You should have a minimum of 5 references and your textbook and the movie. Okay, so in total, there are 7 references in total. Okay. So here are some tips. No quotes. I want to hear your own words. It doesn't help me for you to just copy and paste in something from a journal article or a book. You need to work on paraphrasing. Use APA style headings for your paper sections. Cite often, often, often. Everything that's coming from these articles, from your book, anything that's an idea that's not yours needs to be cited. These websites can be really helpful. You could also check out the APA book from the library. And let me show you just a couple of these. So here, APA Style, this is the apa.org website. This one's super helpful. So it will walk you through basically everything that's in this manual. I really like to go to the APA Style blog as well. You've got some quick answers here. So for example, if you were working on your in-text citations, you could click this link. And it gives you all the different possible sources. Oh, this is a good section on DOIs also. As I just said, you need to have DOIs in your references. So that's the APA one. I mentioned the OWL. This is my most favorite to help you with APA style because I think it's really, really, really good. It's up to date and it's really student friendly. So here on the side you have all of the different things that you might be looking for. So APA style basics, you've got types of papers, additional resources, and then the reference list here, how to cite things. So let's say you were going to cite an article. Here I could click that and then it's going to give you some of that information. Okay. These were articles in periodicals. You could also do basic rules. You could look at electronic sources, all kinds of really good information here. Okay, so I highly recommend using the OWL. All right, there's a couple other links here too that you might find to be more useful. back to our tips, choose an appropriate topic and movie. Got to be an animated movie. If you're unsure if it's going to work, just email me and I can help you with it. Thoroughly discuss the relevant theory, theorists, or psychologists. Thoroughly explain how the movie demonstrates the psychological concept. Tell me everything, tell me more, be more explicit than less explicit, okay? Give specific examples from the movie to adequately support your ideas, and make sure your additional resources are from reputable sources. All right, see the grading rubric. This is an important one. How are you going to be evaluated on this paper? So here is the grading rubric, and I'm literally going to go through and assign points earned out of the points possible for each of these sections. So did you have an appropriate movie choice? This should be an easy one. Title page, in APA style. Introduction, those few paragraphs orienting us. The movie summary, the character summary, those are both worth 20 points, so don't skimp out on those. The concept or the psychologist, obviously a main part, it's 40 points. The connection and application, another main point, 40 points. Your conclusion, tying it all together. Then look at this, 20 points for just APA style format for your reference page. Readability and style is 10 points, and then citations in the text and the headings that you use in APA style, another 10 points. So this comes out to 200 possible points for this paper. Okay, the last thing that I'd like to show you is where to submit this paper on Blackboard. So I already opened up our Blackboard course here. You can find the link to this in the Assignments tab. So on the left-hand side of our homepage, we have the Assignments tab. And if I click that, it'll open up all the assignments. The AirQs are first. But if you scroll all the way down to the bottom, you will see the Constructivism in Animated Films paper right here. This is all the stuff that I just talked about from the Word document, and it's just here copied into Blackboard, including the grading rubric. So that's another place that you can find the assignment details. I would enter this Constructivist in Animated Films link. You can see the due date. That due date will change whatever semester that you're in, so make sure you're following your syllabus. And down at the bottom, it gives you a place to attach a file. So I'll hit Browse My Computer. I'll attach that file in a Word document. That's the most helpful for me. However, PDFs could also work. Word document is what I prefer. You can add any comments to me that you'd like, and then you would hit Submit. You can always save some drafts here as well if needed. So this is where you're going to enter your paper. Once I've graded it, I believe that you can access the paper again here, but you can also go into the My Grades, and there should be a link to it there. That's after I grade it. I can give you those instructions to access the feedback to your paper and your score through an email when we get to that point. Okay, so that takes you through the Constructivism theory paper. If you have any questions, please do not hesitate to email, call me, or stop by my office. I am looking forward to reading all of your papers. Good luck, and again, let me know if you have questions.